Well, I've got a funny feeling that we're going to enjoy this one, dude. I don't know why. I just got a funny feeling we're going to get some good fun out of this, even if we're the only ones that are involved in it.
I'll be honest, mate. I'll be honest. There was part of me that when we did this, I was like this.
Hang on. Wrong button.
No, mate. I was like, I was Mark Noble in it. I was, Mark Noble. All this shit. I've been like it all day. All yesterday afternoon, I worked a shift in the kitchen, and I've been literally buzzing. I've been itching to get on here with you on this, just because let's not lie.
Just why not? Just why not? Yeah, I'll get this bit out of the way. Drop a like on the stream, please. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Duke, what are they doing with the bell this week?
I'll tell you what, you can bash that bell. I'm in such a good mood.
Bash it.
You can bash that bell.
Bash the bell.
We're having a dance while we do it. You know what I mean? I don't care.
What could possibly go wrong? We got the disabled teams in the house. How you doing, mate? Hope you are well.
Good
afternoon. Duke's obviously said hello to you.
PDT, good to see you. I'm glad
good.
We've got someone. We've got someone else. There are two. Gatesy, are you watching it on your phone?
No. It might be the wife.
I'm out.
It might be the wife. Oh, no, the wife just turned off because she realised that we're going to slag her team off. We're not going to slag them off. I mean, I'm not sort of like that way inclined.
Oh, I am.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why we work so well, because I'm yin and you're yang, that's the way this works. So Duke, obviously I'm aware that you manage a pub, and as most of the people will watch this are aware. So weekends tend to be a bit busy for you and all the rest of it. How much of it did you manage to watch?
I'll be honest with you. I was a bit naughty yesterday. Ooh. So the laptop came with me into the kitchen because I was playing chef yesterday.
Yeah.
I say playing chef.
Scott Venn.
Playing.
Yeah, no, Scott Venn will be...
Scott Venn is a chef. I play chef. There's a difference, right?
All right, fair enough.
I'm a glorified microwave technician. The only way I can put it for you. So I took the laptop down with a stand. We have a sound bar in the kitchen that the guys obviously link their phones to, so they can listen to a bit of their own music in there. So we got to 2:00, and the Sky Go app on my MacBook went on. In fact, I actually put it on a bit before, and I did post on Twitter yesterday that considering we were the 2:00 kickoff, nothing really said until about 2:45. It's all about Man U Liverpool yesterday, which really grates my gears. Really does piss me off that regardless of who we're playing, big London derby. I mean, listen. After our game, you've got plenty of time to talk about the Man U game. Let's be honest.
But did he surprise you?
No, not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. The Liverpool loving that Sky have is embarrassing. And Sky, if you're listening, if you'd like to sponsor this, no. I think the Liverpool loving for that particular channel winds me up. Yeah. And on the flip side to that, I just came off of I've been on a conference call. I kind of call a little bit of Gonzo's video over at Hammer's Chat. Obviously, he took his daughter to the game yesterday, which
he did.
What a fantastic game for her to go to. There you go. And he said there, the events of our game were very much overshadowed by what happened.
Darren?
Afternoon, sir. By what happened at Old Trafford. And we were... And to a degree, I get that. I do understand that. But that being said, like I say, laptop on. We were relatively quiet for the first half, so I kind of got to watch the first half. There was very few grilled stuff that was going through, so I could sit down and in the kitchen and put the game on. And then second half, kind of dropped it up on top of the gantry where I was cooking and where I was plating up, so I could look up and see the game unfold. So I'd say all in all, I probably saw about 70, 80 minutes of the game, which was enough. I did have the goal ruined for me because obviously I was streaming it off of the app on my laptop. one of the little shits from the bar came running into the kitchen with a big smile on his face. I'm thinking we're losing 1-0.
Oh no.
And I was like, I'm not biting. I'm not doing it. You're being a wind up. And I actually, Jo was in there with me. She kind of looked up, and I was like, right, you know what? I'll bite. I'll stand there and watch. And then obviously, what happened. But we'll cover that in a moment. But like I say, I mean, it's not easy for me to catch a lot of the games. You know this. But that being said, I caught enough of this one to make me smile like Mark Noble. You know,
that was the interview after the Arsenal game, the 2-0 win at the Emirates in 2015, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
he was just like.
You listen, you can't. You know, they asked him if he was happy. It's very much how I feel right now. Let's not mess around. I mean, I know a few Spurs fans. They've gone incredibly quiet. Incredibly quiet.
Funny that.
Which is always pleasant. But we'll hit that towards the end. What you got for me?
Well, so this was the starting lineup that was announced at around about 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Pretty much no surprises there. The only bone of contention that I think was really there was the right back spot. I think most people probably knew hand on heart that Fabianski was going to be between the sticks. It was very unlikely that Areola was going to get the nod, although some people would probably advocate that should have happened, but didn't. So right back was probably the only, is it going to be Tufal coming back in? Could it possibly be Ryan Fredericks, or will Ben Johnson keep the shirt? Well, Ben Johnson did indeed keep the shirt.
And how good was he?
Yes. Now, it does kind of raise an interesting point, because has he now nailed down that spot? So when Tufal comes in, is he coming straight back in? I ask myself.
No. Listen, that kid there has done him over the last few games, has done himself the world of good. Listen,
massively.
I love Tufal. Tufal, as I said to you yesterday, Saturday, very much in the same sort of mould as a Repka, a Dix. That kind of has got that streak to him. I'm not saying he's an uncultured footballer, not in the slightest, but Ben Johnson yesterday, as I mentioned to you on Saturday in the preview video, my concerns were the pace of Son and Lucas Moura down them wings. And I have to say, both Cresswell and Ben Johnson handled that with absolute, just majestic quality. They really were fantastic yesterday. The whole team, to a man, was amazing yesterday. Nuno Esposito, I don't fucking know. He came out and said, not his exact words were, but we parked the bus, basically. We put too many men behind the ball. And
this was about us?
Yeah. They controlled the game. They controlled the game, and we had too many people behind the ball. I watched Ian Wright, Micah Richards discuss it on Match of the Day. Or Match of the Day 2, sorry. I listened to Gio over at Hammer's Chat discuss it. And to quote Gio, so I'm not, this isn't my words, these are his. To quote Gio, what did you expect us to do? Just welcome you through. Come on in.
Yeah.
It's down to you to break us down.
Yeah.
It's down to you to open us up. Michael Richards, Ian Wright turned around and said the amount of space that they could, we were compact, we were tight, we were good, and they did nothing to pull us out of place. Nuno said that Spurs were the better side and they controlled the game. No disrespect, they didn't. We controlled the game without even having the ball.
The thing, it really bugs me when I hear this. I was there in 2014, I think it was, at Stamford Bridge, when Sam Allardyce took us to Stamford Bridge against Jose Mourinho's soon-to-be champions of the Premier League, Chelsea. And we got a 0-0 draw. We was battling against relegation at the time. And he was moaning about we played 18th century football. We had all 11 men sort of like in the penalty box, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, exactly. We got the point, and it then started a turn of events that led to us to stay up that particular season. And I'm just like, how arrogant of you, So we've got to play a style
your
of football that maximizes your strengths and minimizes ours and means that you get the 3 points. That's not the way this works. We're going to maximize our strengths, minimize yours to try and get the result. If that means that you look like a bunch of chumps in the process, do you know what? Tough. That's not our problem. And if you manage to find a way that we've done what we've done, we've set up the way we've done, and if at the end of the day you manage to beat us and you take the 3 points, I've got no problem. Shake your hand. Well done. Congratulations. We'll get you next time. Done.
Yeah.
But to come out after you've lost a game of football and start complaining about, oh, well, they didn't play the way that sort of like really suited us and they should have done this and it would have been easy for us. Oh, piss off. Seriously.
Yeah. No, listen, you're right. I mean, I got very galled by it. Just because at the end of the day, listen.
Thank you, TDT.
We do us. And that's all I care about right now. You know, screw what Liverpool did to Man U yesterday. Although I'll have a conversation on that in this video towards the end about my concerns for that game. We dominated the game without having possession. I think we ended up with 38 possession. They ended up with 62. But we dominated the game. We did. We dominated that game because they could not do what they needed to do. That back four, and then alongside Souček and Declan Rice, were so tight and close and compact and supportive of each other in different areas of the pitch that our game plan was successful. Our game plan was executed to a T. And lo and behold, we got the bit of luck. We got the goal. We pick up the 3 points, and we now currently sit fourth. That's it. That's the entire discussion that needs to be had. Tottenham couldn't break us down. We set up with the right game plan. Job done.
Dude, I'm just going to have to deal with something. Can you just chat a little bit about the match? I just quickly need to deal with something.
Listen, you go drown one of them.
I'll be two ticks.
Push her down the stairs if you have to.
All right, mate.
Take care of this. Go on.
All right.
So while Rob's just gone off to dig a hole in the garden, probably to bury someone, I don't know. I just think we were spot on. You know what, disabled team, you're right. Moyes outclassed him, and to be fair, most managers, in my opinion, this season will outclass Nuno. I just don't think he's the right manager. As Gatesy mentioned in the preview show, that he's just a poor man's Jose Mourinho. You know, he was a disciple of his, follows the same sort of setup. So, you know, he's going to be outclassed by a lot of managers this year. He's out of his depth at Spurs. That was a saving money appointment by Daniel Levy. You know what, Darren, the results went for us massively yesterday. You know, I think that we're in a really good place right now. I don't think we're going to struggle at all. Confidence is high. Did you dig the hole? Did you fill
No, it was really strange actually. My wife was at the door. And it was a guy from BT Openreach saying, "Oh, have you got a problem with your internet?" And she was like, "Not that I know. My husband's doing a live stream as we speak." So I've just gone to the door and just had a quick chat with him. Huh?
Did you give him the card with the scan me barcode on it?
No. His van's there. He's definitely an Openreach engineer. But the funny thing was, I actually had a text on I think it actually came on my work phone, saying that there was problems in the area with broadband, this and that. So I've just had a chat with him. I said, "Look, I'm doing a live stream at the minute, so it's probably not convenient for you to check my broadband at the minute." And then he turned around and said, "How long do you reckon it'll be?" I said, "Maybe about half hour." He said, "Oh, I'll go and have some lunch. I'll come back." So,
fair play.
There you go. There you go. But right, okay, we'll rattle through this a little bit lively so that when he comes back, I can just sort of let him crack on with whatever. Right, so that was obviously the West Ham lineup. Like I say, pretty much picked itself. As did the Tottenham lineup. Now, of the 22 players that took to the pitch yesterday in our pre-match, I actually got 21 of them correct when I was making the prediction. The one I got wrong was Ben. Hang on, get rid of that. Was Ben Johnson at right back for us, but all the other players I got actually bang on the money. If I do say so myself, not bad. But in fairness, it was, but the thing was that Tottenham, to be fair, they played the same 11 the previous two fixtures and rested all of the players, obviously ahead of their Europa Conference League, not Europa League. That's us. So I kind of thought, well, yeah, he's gonna go with that same team. So that was what it was. It was Lloris, Reguilon, Dyer, Romero, Emerson, Skip, Højbjerg, Son, Ndombele, Lucas, and Kane. Kane, yes. He, I think they'd have been better off with Kane from the WWE up top, quite frankly, yesterday. I didn't really see he did too much. Mind you, Zuma did a number on him, I thought.
Mate, they would have been better off with Jimmy Cranky up front.
Yeah, honestly, he doesn't want to be there, does he?
Mate, listen, I when we closed up last night, like I say, I was in the kitchen. So by the time I come out and we got the cashing up done and everything else, I kind of, like I said, put Match of the Day 2 on and it came up. And I rewound the slow-mo of our goal over and over and over again. Not because I wanted to enjoy the moment, but I got so fucking angry. Listen, I'm a West Ham fan. Yeah, I got so angry with Harry Kane, the England captain. Okay. Absolutely no interest in trying to stop Antonio. He might as well just gone and leant against the post like this. There was nothing.
I think he
got angry. I got angry that's our England captain that showed no drive, no desire, no want. Now, if that had been the other way round, then that had been in their box and Antonio had done that, you know what? I'd be calling for his head right now. If that had been Antonio and Kane had scored, I'd be calling for Antonio's head right now because that is not how you do it. Kane looks so, in the entire game, Gatesy, he looked so disinterested.
He's looked disinterested basically since he came back from pre-season, from what I can see.
There is that, but I don't really pay much attention to him elsewhere. But in our game, he looks so disinterested.
Yeah.
And if I was a Spurs fan, and thankfully I'm not, but if I was a Spurs fan, I'd want him out of my club tomorrow.
Wow.
Today. I want him gone in the next 5 minutes because that was absolutely disrespectful to the Spurs fans. That was absolutely disrespectful to his teammates. The way he behaved, A, in that game, but B, when the goal was scored. Because he kind of was like, oh, you're at fault, mate. Don't blame anyone else. Don't blame the guy in front for not getting the header. You're the bloke that you're literally standing there with your arm round him, giving him a hug. And he's just scored the goal that ended up costing you the game. If I was a Spurs fan, I would be, well, mate, I'm fuming as an England fan that he's done that. That's the England captain. Let alone being a Spurs supporter and having that shower of shit, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the possession stats earlier. I said it on the match vlog right at the end. You know, possession's all very well and good, but if it's without penetration, then it's a completely useless statistic. And there you go. That's proof if ever you wanted it. 37.7% possession we had, and yet if you look at the next slide, we managed to get 13 shots away. They only got 7. So we had
second half. They only had 2 touches inside our box,
and they didn't manage to get a shot on target in the second half as well.
Which means they only had one touch inside our box.
Yeah.
In the first shot, sorry. So they only had 2 touches. I completely agree with that. They only had 2 touches inside our box in the entirety of the second half, whilst having 62% of the possession.
Mm-hmm.
If that shows you a team that are completely fucking clueless when they've got two banks of four defending, or a bank of four and a bank of five defending like we do. Let's not mess around. We do defend as a 9, and our outlet is Antonio, which then his hold-up play allows the others to join.
Yeah.
We defend as a 9. Okay, 10 if you include the keeper. We defend as a 9. If you can't break that down, that's not my problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I get the ump with managers that try and sort of like deflect the attention away from. Yeah. They try and deflect sort of like the blame away from themselves instead of them putting their hands up and going, do you know what? We had a number done on us today. We turned up. We had a plan. It didn't work. We was outworked. We was outthought. We was outfought. We was just sort of like, we were second best and fair play to the other team. Like I say, I think it's disrespectful when managers, and this is not specifically at Nuno, this is not specifically at Tottenham, I'm talking generally. I've heard it many, many times where a defeated manager, comes out in the post-match and starts moaning that the other team didn't play in a manner that made it easy for his team. Are you for real? And a lot of these managers that quite often it seems to me that the managers that are moaning are usually managers of the money top 6 clubs, the Arsenals, the Tottenhams, the Manchester Uniteds, the Manchester Cities, the Liverpools and the Chelseas of this world. It's usually them when teams like a Burnley, teams like a West Ham, teams like an Aston Villa have the temerity, the brass necked to play in a way that made their life difficult and that they managed to grind out a result. Really?
Sad job, though. Sad job.
Exactly.
We're not there to make your job easier. We're not there to roll over. And I tell you what bugs a lot of these top sides at the minute, mate. Right? And I promise you now it does. Is that we've had the gall to break up what has been the Sky Sports top 6 alongside Leicester for such a long time. Us and Leicester are now going, ooh, big summer blowout, and we're now breaking up that party. Are we part of that Sky Sports top 6 ahead of Spurs and Arsenal? Yes, we are. Man U,
they don't like
Liverpool,
it.
Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, us, and Leicester. They're now your Sky. They're now your top 6 currently. Are we a better
Simon?
side? Are we a better side than Tottenham? Yes, we are.
Definitely.
We proved that yesterday. Are we a better side than Arsenal currently? Yes, we are. I'd even go as far to a point. I'm still working.
Simon.
I just had to jump on and do the stream because it's fun. I go as far to right now say that we are a better team than Manchester United.
On yesterday's showing, I think that my daughter's football team are better than Manchester United.
So they've got the amp that we've come in and we've broken that so-called monopoly of the top 6, and they don't like it.
No,
that top 6 don't like it. That Super League 6, if you will, don't like it. That we've gone coming in. Woo,
yeah,
can we? And listen, they've got the ump. Listen, let's be honest, and I'm going to put this to everyone in the chat, all 12 of you, Gatesy to you as well.
Yeah, sure.
Would a top 6 consisting of the teams that I've mentioned, including Spurs and Arsenal, not necessarily us and Leicester, would those teams of old have hired Nuno Santos,
Nuno,
him, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as their managers? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the man that took Cardiff down and had a bit of previous experience with Mulder, not with Scully, and Nuno, who did a relatively half decent job at Wolves, who, by the way, had Chan score for them again. Would the old top 6 have hired those 2 managers?
Right. I actually had a conversation. I don't know if you caught it. I was on with Peach this morning on West Ham Random. If anybody's watching, don't know what I'm on about, go to YouTube, type in West Ham Random, give him a subscribe. He's a lovely
Mate,
guy,
you don't
Peach.
even know what you're going on about.
But no, Ole for Man United. The only reason he's got that job is because of he's a guy that scored the last second goal in a Champions League final. Other than that, his resume is not someone that should be managing, arguably, the biggest club in world football. Now, I was thinking about this morning. You know, David Moyes got 5 minutes there. 5 minutes by comparison. Ollie's been there for 3 years and he's done nothing.
Significantly more money.
Yeah. So why is it that a manager like David Moyes, who had the resume that he had when he went to Manchester United, was given a couple of months, and then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been given 3 years with his resume containing Mulder in the Norwegian leagues and Cardiff getting them relegated? Doesn't make sense. But having said that, I suppose I shouldn't complain, because at the end of the day, number one, if they'd have given David Moyes more time, then David Moyes might still be Manchester United's manager to this day, perhaps. And all the time that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is manager of Manchester United, it may actually be that we're the beneficiaries of that. Because obviously, if they're going to sort of like get stuffed at home to Liverpool 5-0 and all the rest of it, then we're going to be in striking distance. So keep him there. Oh, I did. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
10 seconds later, the camera pans across and they show Kenny Dalglish with a smile as wide as the River Mersey. Oh my God, it was amazing. I'm pretty sure if you get a lip reader, I do believe Alex Ferguson's the exact words that come out of his mouth were "fucking sack him." I do believe.
Seriously,
honest. Definitely the word. If you watch him mouth, I do believe he says the word "sack him."
Wow.
Something sacking or sack him, and I do believe if you go back and watch it right, I do believe he fucking sack him is what. And listen, he's not wrong, mate. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
As for Nuno, Nuno is a really weird one. I mean, when I had Tommy on
money one.
the Spurs, well, yes, precisely, because I said to Tommy, the Tottenham fan, when we did the opposition recon the other day, and I said to him, I said, it just struck me as really an odd appointment. Not getting rid of Jose in and of itself was odd, because I think that was probably coming up to the point that they did pull the trigger on him. Maybe the timing was a little bit odd.
So it is what it is.
But it was only the second year. It happened a bit early. But the thing was, he'd got them to a League Cup League Cup final, and a couple of weeks out from that, they pulled the trigger on him. Now, I know that the Spurs fans were moaning about the style of football, kind of like we did when we was under Big Sam. Fine, fair enough. That's not a problem. But then you get in a manager in Nuno, who is a disciple of Jose Mourinho. I don't know how many people realise this. Nuno was the reserve goalkeeper. He was on the bench when Jose's Porto won the Champions League in 2004. He is very much a disciple, a pupil of the Jose Mourinho school of football. And if you talk to Wolves fans, I think a lot of Wolves fans, they give him due credit for obviously getting him promoted in 2 consecutive seventh place finishes.
Yeah.
But in terms of the style of football that was being played, and especially in the last season, I think they'd had enough of it, quite honestly. And they were like, when he was out the door, it was like, fine, fair enough. So it struck me as a little bit odd to replace Jose with a manager that's pretty much Jose light. And the only reason that Tommy sort of like made sense of it was for one very simple reason: money.
And you'll leave his pocket.
Yeah.
So that's all you can say about it. It's the only reason he's there. It's the only reason he's there.
I want them to stay there, mate. They're doing a great job as far as I'm concerned.
Listen, both of them can stay. I don't care. In the grand scheme of things, you know what? Did you see? Just I know we're talking about other clubs here. Did you see what Gary Neville trying to defend Ole yesterday?
No.
On Sky Sports, he was saying that he should be given to the end of the season. There's no other manager. There's no other manager that's out there that could come in. He's sick and tired of seeing mercenary managers, the likes of Jose that comes in, these big time mercenaries that come in, don't really care.
They're all mercenaries. They're all mercenaries. They're all there for the money.
Listen, Ole's going to be there for love because he loves Manchester United. I'm not going to say he doesn't. It's the same as if you turn around and Julian Dixon, Slaven Bilic, they came back to West Ham because there's a love of the club and that's why they were there. Agreed, D. TDT, you're right, he is. But he's there because he loves the club. Slav and same as Jordan Moyes. Jordan, fucking reading Jordan's name on my phone. David Moyes. He's not at West Ham because he loves the club. But if you go back, Billy Bonds, Harry Redknapp, they were there because he loves the club.
Me neither, Darren, by the way.
Yeah, it's true.
Other than my wife, maybe.
Managers that have played for clubs, and for a significant amount of time, will always have or have good memories of playing for those clubs. Will always go back to a club as a manager or as a coach, out of love. Other than that, you'd consider them to be a mercenary. Listen, you telling me Thomas Tuchel joined Chelsea because he has a love of Chelsea? Yeah, he's there because there's a bit of cash involved in it.
Same as anybody that goes to Newcastle from this point on.
Hey, listen, I can see Newcastle getting contact. Or who's the other fella that they were talking about? They were talking about a fella, and Gary Neville said he didn't want him yesterday. He's an attacking style coach, plays open, expansive football. You know what? When you've got a team that has, or got a squad that has the type of players in it that United have got, open, expansive, attacking football might work for the front six. You're going to screw yourself over at the back. Pogba has no idea what he's doing. Harry Maguire, who is an £80 million defender, hasn't got a clue what he's doing, and can't defend for toffee. Luke Shaw only can play football when he puts on an England shirt. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I've got nothing for you. The whole setup there for United needs to be ripped up and started again. But I digress. We beat Spurs 1-0 yesterday.
We did.
And I just need to go.
And I'm going to ask, because for those of you that haven't seen it, as I say, there's about a 10-minute bit at the end where I'm just sort of doing a wrap up and giving my thoughts basically on the day, but also more broadly on what's happening at our club. And I made the statement, and I stand by it. It wouldn't shock me, and as I say, I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I'm saying here. It wouldn't shock me if at the end of this season we've qualified for the Champions League. I'm not saying we're going to qualify for the Champions League. I'm not saying we're going to finish fourth. I'm not saying we're going to win the Europa League. But what I'm saying is it wouldn't shock me if we did either one of those things and therefore became a Champions League club. What say you?
Yeah, whisper.
Because we've played nine Premier League games. That's virtually a quarter of a season. And we're fourth. We're top of our Europa League group. We've not conceded a goal and we've won all 3 games. We went to Manchester United in the League Cup and turned them over. All right, you could turn around and say, is that as much of an achievement? Listen, we don't often go to Old Trafford and win historically. So something's happening at our club. Something's happening at our club that you and I and people maybe even slightly older than us haven't really seen happen that often. I turned around and said the last time I can remember having back-to-back seasons of relative success would have been in the Redknapp era, round about the sort of like 97 to 99, 2000, that sort of realm, where we had consecutive seasons where we did something that for a team of our stature would be considered to be, very good. I think it was 2 top 8 finishes back to back. And we also then went and won the Intertoto and all the rest of it. And I'm just looking at this now and I just think something is definitely happening at our club. And I'm so used to this mindset of something's going to go wrong at some point. It always goes wrong. We're West Ham. I remember going to that game against Villa Park in the League Cup where we beat Villa on a penalty shootout. And then the next day we was told we've played an ineligible player. The game had to be replayed and we lost the game. And that was our chance of going to an FA Cup, League Cup semi-final gone. Yeah. That is the sort of stuff that traditionally happens to West Ham. It's so very West Ham. I've heard it many, many times and it's true. But something's happening now. And it's getting to the point where I'm having to convince myself, no, we can win this game. Just because it's a Tottenham, just because it's a Manchester United, even the game on Wednesday, I'm having to tell myself, yeah, okay, they're the favourites. But do you know what? If we click, we could knock them out.
Well, you only have to look. I think it was last season, mate, when we had. Was it last season when we had Randolph in goal?
Yep.
When we went up to the Etihad.
Yeah.
Listen, let's not dick around. We gave them a run for their money,
and the home game as well.
Yeah, we gave them a run for their money, and they didn't like it. And I'm in a similar mindset to you, mate. Right. Many times I've gone into a game against Tottenham going, I want to be confident.
But yeah, there's that.
But whisper it. I'll tell you now, whisper it. Because it's going to happen. Okay. I
want to see a cup for my generation, Darren. I was 4 years of age when we won. I know, and I'm taking aside the Intertoto because that was that's probably the European equivalent of the Betway Cup. But never mind. I mean, sort of like, yes, it would be nice for the next generation. I completely agree with that. It would be nice for my kids to see us win a trophy. But I've got to speak for me. Like I say, I was 4 years of age when we won the FA Cup. Shut up. I wasn't that old. No, I was 4 years. So I've got no memory of it. I've got no memory. I don't remember it. I do not remember it. And I was there in 2006 and I seriously thought we had it. We were that close. And then fucking Steven Gerrard pops up.
No, don't blame Gerrard. Gerrard did what he always
I know what you're going to do. You're going to blame Scaloni. Yes, I know. Okay. I know.
No, but listen, like you, I want that cup run. But I'm telling you now, whisper it because we have got a bloody good chance.
Why whisper it? Let's be proud about it.
No. Just wait. Just wait a minute. Right? We've got a bloody good chance of winning this Europa League. Yeah. Listen, I don't fear what falls out of that Champions League. I don't give a monkeys. No. I'm looking at Barcelona a third. I fancy my chances against them over 2 legs.
Yeah.
I fancy them coming to London Stadium and us absolutely rinsing the fuck out of them. Because they're not a team at the minute.
Nope.
I'll tell you what, I'd fear more right now playing an Ajax side, who are so, by the way, underestimated in that league. In the Champions League. So underestimated. That being said, ex-Ajax player, could be available on loan in January, would actually help us with our defensive mid for situation.
Daley Blind? Not Daley Blind, Donny van der Beek.
Donny, mate, he's sitting there thinking, what have I done? Jadon Sancho must be sitting there going, what the fuck?
What have I walked into?
But we got a bloody good chance here, mate.
Yeah.
As you said, I wouldn't be surprised if come the end of the season, Mark Noble in Seville is lifting that trophy. I won't be surprised.
That would be something else, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't.
What a fairy tale it would be for him.
Oh,
What a
mate,
fairy tale it'd
unbelievable.
be for him, you know.
I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps, right? But I won't be surprised. Like you, I won't be surprised if come the end of the season, we're sitting fourth.
Are you tempted?
Right now, I would not. Am I tempted? Go on, say it.
No.
Are
you what? EasyJet flights to Seville?
No. I was looking at West Ham top 4 finish on the betting websites, mate. And
Put a fiver on it.
None of them. None of them are even considering us at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. None of them.
This is a team that was 6th last season and were 3 points off of actually achieving it.
Yep. None of them. None of them.
Wow, how disrespectful.
And by that, I'm talking like 30, 40 to 1 on a couple of them. Like they're not even considering that there is a shot. I mean, I think we're 11 to 1 favourites, I believe, to win the Europa League, and that's because the Champions League clubs haven't dropped out yet. So until we know what that's going to be, obviously the teams dropping out the Champions League are going to be
if one of them's Barcelona, they'll be made favourite straight away, won't they?
But again, I don't fear them, mate. I really don't.
They're an absolute shambles at the minute.
I know who I fear most out of this Champions League, out of this Europa League setup right now. Leicester. Because they're hurting right now and they're going to come. I mean, they got a good win yesterday. All right, it was against Brentford, but they played well. I saw the highlights. But they're going to come. They're going to come out of the blocks one day and they're going to hurt someone. They're going to come out of that blocks and they're going to score an absolute bagful.
Saka's bedding in, isn't he?
Oh, can we not?
Sorry.
Can we not?
You mentioned Nawangi Chain earlier.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You started it.
I'd like to point out, old Florian Wirtz, again, the kid's unbelievable. Unbelievable. His Champions League goals record this season scares the crap out of me. Adi Amy looks absolutely outstanding. I think I've got 3 or 4 more that I'm watching, and I'm just checking their results, their stats weekly, and I'm just like, I can't do it because these guys. Although Abdullah Sime is not having the greatest of times, so we missed.
He's at Stoke, isn't he?
He is, yeah, and he's been injured and he's not doing well. Yeah, you've got Napoli who've won 8 of 9, but you've got West Ham who are fucking massive. So I mean, hey, come on, what you got?
There you go. Do you want some nuggets?
I want a nugget. Give me a nugget.
I've only got 3 for you, and I had a veritable feast of nuggets the other day. I've only got a couple of nuggets for you, but they're good uns. It's quality over quantity.
Give me a nugget.
I shall give you a nugget since you've asked me so nicely, Duke. Here we go, and I'll go full screen with it. West Ham's 17-point haul after 9 matches is our best return since 2015-16 when we finished 7th under Slaven Bilic, while it is 3 more points than we had after the same number of games last season. Is that a tasty nugget for you? You like it, didn't you?
I'm telling you.
That's a tasty one.
Mate, this season has got something epic written all over it. And bar, let's be honest, bar an absolute car crash of the rest of the season, this has got something special written all over it. And I'm so pleased that you and I started this in February to be able to do this. And this channel and everything else that we do, to share it with everyone else in the chat and the live streams and meeting people at games and stuff like that. That this could be the season that we've been waiting for. And you and I, just before it, or a few months before it started, decided, I know what, let's do a channel, and we get to share it with everyone. It blows my mind that this is the one. Dad, when are you leaving? Because you said we'd be leaving at 2:45. Tell her, usher a noise.
Yeah, shut it. There you go.
And tell her
not
that's
you.
Tell her that's a really. Can put a comment back up again.
What, this one?
Yeah, that's a really. She looks really good in her profile picture. Did she get her haircut there?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Come on, Libby.
She'll kick you in the shins next time she sees you.
It broke my nose the last time I saw her. Let's not mess around. Kick me straight in the face.
Do you want the next nugget? Nuggets. The Spuds have failed to have an attempt of any kind during the second half of yesterday's match, last doing so against Arsenal back in December of last year. Indeed, it's only the third time since the start of last season that they failed to do so in the second 45 minutes more than any other side. That's, well, I don't quite know how to describe that.
It's embarrassing. If you're
I don't know what my overriding emotion is.
If you're a Spurs fan, you are fuming.
Yes, if you're a Spurs fan, which luckily we're not.
Oh, listen, I don't give monkeys about Spurs. The game's out of the way now. It's done and dusted. I'm ready for City on Wednesday now. Which I'm really peeved. It's not on telly.
Yeah, hang on. Yes, I do, and we will. Okay.
Patience.
Yeah. Yes, Simon, we are going to Dymchurch once I finish this stream, which is just a short break. No, nothing extravagant. The Costa del Dymchurch. That's it. You know, got a nice little caravan, and we're off. So, oh, hello. He's making a recommendation. Park Road Fish and Chip Shop in Hythe. Actually, I think we're coming through Hythe to go to Dymchurch, if I remember rightly. So I'll look it up, mate. That's dinner sorted, as the missus has just said. Because she's not cooking. She's on strike because something happened yesterday that wasn't to her taste. I'll leave that there.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, she's still smarting. She picked us up from Ebbsfleet Station, though. We got the bullet back. 11 minutes and 3 seconds. It's incredible.
I told you it's a Swiftie, didn't I?
Yeah, and I've actually found a way of getting the tickets a little bit cheaper. I think I got rinsed last time. Because but I found a way of getting the tickets cheaper. It's your end. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. And it says pop in the outlet for some treats from. Oh yeah, is that right? Okay. I'll bear it in mind, Mr. McCready. But don't think for 1 minute, Simon. Don't think that you trying to curry favour with me is going to get. And I see your comment there, Scott. I'll deal with you in a minute. Is going to get me to sort of like take my foot off the pedal as far as the old Super Six is concerned, which is going quite well for me. I didn't want to sort of blow my own trumpet.
Can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Well, make a statement.
Go for it.
I wouldn't suggest Gatesy going to the outlet to get some Haribo treats. You've already told me about your top this morning.
I'm going to have to get to the next nugget because the broadband engineer's just turned up. So I'm going to get this last nugget out of the way and then I'm going to wrap it up. So Michail Antonio's opener was West Ham's 21st Premier League goal since the start of last season via a set piece, excluding any penalties, at least 3 more than the next side, which is Chelsea with 18. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And I paid, Mr. Venn. I did pay.
And a little message reaching out to my little friend that was sat behind me on Thursday night at the London Stadium. I'd like to point out it was another Cresswell assist.
Yes.
That's what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
He might not be able to defend and has no pace in your opinion, but my God, can he deliver an absolute killer ball?
Don't need pace if you can anticipate. Yeah, she's there. Right. Going to have to wrap it up there, guys, as I say. So please, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Duke, what are they doing with the bell?
I told you. I'm so happy they can bash the bell.
Bash your bell, ladies and gentlemen. You know it makes sense. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.